Hello everyone, Rick Yasayan, another episode of Let's Find Out. We are in the Torrance area and it is mid-November. In fact, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So we are giving thanks by being here at the home of Phil Castro. And we're going to take a look at his yard. He's got some really interesting things here. He also has a yard that I like to go through. It looks like a forest. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. We love to hear comments, and please leave us some comments too. Oh, here we go.
Morning,
Come on in, Phil.
Morning.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So, I would like to introduce all of you to Phil Castro.
Hello.
And this is his home, and you brought out some lovely items here.
Yeah, some homegrown fruits, and some gifts from some friends. Some gifts from the Vietnamese groups on Facebook. Star apple.
This is a star apple. Oh, nice. This is the green variety, right?
Yes.
Now there's also another variety. What color is it?
Purple or red.
Okay.
Camatillo, purple camatillo.
Right.
That's what they call it.
Right. Wonderful. We've not seen this before in our programs.
Some of the things I grow, like passion fruits. I have a lot of passion fruits because they're easy to grow, no maintenance.
Yeah.
Make great privacy, you know.
Which variety is this?
It's one I got from when I went to Costa Rica.
Okay.
So it might be Granadilla.
Yeah. Okay. Well, once we open it, we'll know if it's got gray seeds. It's likely the Granadilla.
Correct.
Okay.
This is actually the first time I'm having it here. So
really,
I haven't even opened one up yet. So.
Oh boy. Well, can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
So, looking at this bowl, this is the Granadilla. At least that's what we think it is. Maybe a cross. These are the
star apple.
This is a star apple. Now that's something I've not had a chance to taste yet. Also, I think known as a milk fruit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I've been told that.
And we will see why, because the sap apparently is somewhat milky. Some nice fruit.
Yeah, fruit persimmons.
Okay. And these, they look a little bit like lemons, but they're really not. This is
it's a sweet lime.
Sweet lime. So we'll cut that in a few moments and take a look. We've got nice tangerines. Is this honey?
Actually, I don't know.
Looks like a honey to me.
Someone just gave me the plant and I just put it in the ground, so
and
don't know what it is.
Lots of times what we do. This, of course, we should all know what it is.
That's dragon fruit.
Yep. Is it what color inside?
It's a wet one.
So that's similar to this one we just opened a few minutes ago.
Correct.
Okay. So can we take a look at some of these?
Sure.
All right. I am, of course, most interested in this one, the Caimito.
Let me find one here.
You got a ripe one?
Soft.
This is somewhat soft. Check
this one looks pretty soft. See.
Oh, that's soft. Definitely.
Like an avocado, right?
Okay, show us how we do this. Oh, I can already see why it's called the milk fruit.
It's all milky.
We've got sap coming out of it. It's milky sap on your finger here. Look at that. Beautiful. Has a very pleasant, refreshing smell to it.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Just bite in, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's a unique taste, right?
Different. Very creamy taste. That milkiness has a flavor to it. Very pleasant.
Right? Yeah, I only know one guy who has a tree, and it just started flowering this year. His name is James. James Newen, over here in the OC by Little Saigon area.
Oh, okay. Okay, now is that where you got these?
No, he got them from a vendor somewhere.
Okay.
And he brought some over when he was visiting me.
Oh, how kind.
You know, so.
How kind. So you don't have one of these in your...
Not yet, but
well, there goes that fruit.
I plan to, though. As soon as it starts fruiting, that's when I'll get an air layer from it.
That's right. And we've got nice seeds here. Perhaps even we can
even with the seeds,
them.
you can probably germinate them. Sure.
Yeah. But very nice, very pleasant flavor to it. Really unexpected.
See where they call it like milk
nice.
fruit, right?
Yeah.
It has that little milky taste to it.
Yeah, and a little stickiness, almost like a latex.
A lot of people too, they're
not bad.
They all have like different ways to eating it. Like a lot of people like to like go ahead and do this with the fruit. Like really just smush it up.
Okay. Get it sort of pre-softened. Get it ready to.
And then they wait about like 5 minutes or so, and then they'll cut it up, and it'll be like really, really milky.
Gotcha.
Do it this way, that way our hands don't get all.
Okay, we're gonna save these two pieces so that our cameraman and light man can have a taste also.
There's plenty, so they'll have a blast.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, how about if we take a look at the...
Sure.
Now you called it a lima?
Laranja lima.
Laranja meaning orange?
Orange, yeah.
Lime.
Yeah, like...
Okay.
So...
We'll add a little milkiness to it, why not?
There you go.
Now these, let's cut this one more time. Yeah, just... Okay. These typically are somewhat sweeter than...
They have a unique taste to them.
Very refreshing, very sweet. No sourness to it.
Correct. I like to get a whole bunch of them and juice them.
Oh yeah.
Now, what's great about these guys are if you have like a sore throat, like you eat these and like it's like a natural cough drop.
Wow.
It's better than the cough drop if you ask me.
Wow. Okay, what else have we here?
We got a
fuyu.
I always like. Oops, sorry. I always like this time of the year just because of the fuyu season.
Okay, if you have not eaten a fuyu persimmon, you are missing something. These you can eat while they're still hard, whereas the hachia type, they have to be totally squishy soft before you eat them.
They're crunchy, they're great.
Just like an apple, you can eat them, or you can wait until they get soft, and you get that same sort of squishy taste of the hachias.
Yep.
Not quite as good as the hachia when it's squishy, but good enough.
Now, with these guys, if you do grow them, if you, like this is seedless, right? But if you want them to have seeds, you grow a chocolate near it.
And cross-pollinate. Okay, so we've got a couple trees here. This one is, of course, of interest. This is a
Jabuticaba. The
Okay.
variety is called, it's a Sabra. But interesting note though, there's a lot of variation in Sabra because they're mostly grown from seeds.
Okay.
So you'll get trees that have a thick skin or a thin skin. Some fruit will be bigger than others. Some will be more productive. Some will be less productive.
Okay.
So, but this guy here is there's 3 Sabras here. They're all selected by me because I like the fruit on them. You can see right here, it flowers right on the branch of the tree. Right after the tree starts peeling is when you start seeing it flower. Over here, where I live in Torrance, I have a unique environment where I live just close enough to the ocean, but just close enough to the inland. So in the morning, I get the fog from the ocean, and then I also get the inland heat around noon. All the fog burns away. Yeah. So it's it's great for these trees. It seems to.
So really that helps certainly promote the flowering.
Correct.
Now you've got 3. What variety? They're all Sabras.
They're all Sabras, but just different variations of Sabra.
Okay.
Like for example, this one produces a really sweet average size fruit.
Okay.
The one in the back there produces like like almost double the size fruit as this one. It's also sweet, but not as sweet as this one. And that one over there, I got it because it seems to fruit about 5 times a year. I keep it because it seems to fruit about 5 times a year.
Wow.
So you know, different different sabras have different you know, variations of what they do and what they don't. Like they say in Brazil, there's over like 250 you know, types of sabra, like sub, you know.
Oh wow, that many.
That many.
I know there's a lot of types of the Jabuticaba, but I didn't realize that many of just one variety.
Because they're all just like different mutations or variations, whatever you want to call them.
Crosses or whatever.
Yeah, and then whenever you find something that you like, you propagate it and then just give it a variety name.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm going to ask you about one thing about your method on this, because I believe you've mentioned earlier to us that you found a way to get these to fruit faster. Yeah,
so, you know, just by trial and erring, reading, you know, on the Facebook groups and, you know, and TFF and other places, friends like Adam Schaefer from Flying Fox Fruits, I came up with like a method. Like I mulch a lot, these trees, like whenever I eat something, I mulch. But I notice if you shock the roots with a lot of iron, like I buy some iron pellets like from Home Depot called like Dr. Iron.
Okay.
And I take handfuls, not the recommended, you know, handfuls, and I just go and dump the bag around the tree. And then, you know, I notice after like about 2 months, I'll start seeing it trying to flower, just like this guy right here. So I started this garden here about 3 years ago.
3 years?
3 years ago.
How big was this plant when you started?
It wasn't this big. It wasn't this big.
Wow.
And they all say this plant grows very, very slow.
Yes.
But as you can see, though, it's very, very big. When I got it, it was probably up to this height right here.
When you first got it?
When I first got it, it was probably up to this height right here.
So if it's that would be about 3 foot.
Yeah,
about 3 foot, and this is certainly
over 3
well
foot.
Over that. So I'm going to stand up at ground level, and I'm 5'6", and this certainly goes up past 6-7 feet.
Correct.
Wow, that's amazing.
And but the most amazing part is though it's flowering and fruiting.
Yeah.
And it's been flowering and fruiting now for the last year or so. All three of these have.
Amazing.
You know? And I selected all 3 of these just because I like the fruit on them. And you know, the size, so later on I plan to cross them with my other rare Jabos back there.
Right.
To come up with new varieties.
Which we will be taking a look at shortly. And another thing about these that I've found out is the way you prune them also helps in the fruiting. And these look as if you've not pruned at all. Correct.
So I noticed that works with certain varieties of Jabuticaba.
Okay.
Now with the Sabra here, I noticed that I don't have to do much anything to them. Like they just start fruiting after they peel. Although with the other ones, like my Trunciflora trees, I have one that's like not pruned, and I have one that's pruned, and the one that's pruned is producing more flowers than the one that's not pruned.
Yeah.
So I noticed, you know, different varieties will have different, you know.
We'll talk about that maybe when we get to it. Okay, we've got another fruit tree here, and I see one little baby flower hiding right up here. And what have we got in front of us?
So this is Acerola, or as some of you might know as Barbados cherry.
Barbados cherry, right?
This guy here, he's starting to flower again for me.
Yep, we got a few more up and around.
So this is a sweet variety of Acerola.
Okay.
Some of them are bitter, some of them are sweet, some of them are tangy. This is like the sweet one. You can eat them green as well. Yeah. Like this one's not a tart one.
This is where our vitamin C mostly comes from. As far as the tablets and whatnot that they make. This is turned into vitamin C, and these are certainly well known around. How frequently do you get fruit on this?
I'll get fruit from this all the way up till September.
Beginning when?
February.
So almost year round.
Almost year round.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And I'll get Home Depot buckets loads of fruit. Like too much fruit. Like if you see, the tree will be so loaded with fruits, the branches will tend to break.
Wow.
Because the tree also grows faster than it can support itself. Then you add the fruits, and it gets all crazy.
It's very happy tree in this location, and I see a lot of the mulching that you do. You use a lot of wood chips You've used, what else is down here? The fruit that you finish eating, the peels and whatnot?
Yeah, whenever I eat something from the garden, I just toss it right back into the garden.
Okay.
And then bulldozer might come along and eat the rimes or the skins.
And bulldozer, of course, what type of kitty cat is that?
He's a giant African Sorcatus tortoise.
Okay.
He's a grumpy old man that, sniffs at me and stuff like that and demands fruits all the time.
It looks like he's got a wonderful place to live in. Hey, we've got a little bit of a problem with a lawnmower in a yard nearby, but we're going to try to talk over that and hope that you can all hear. We're going to take a look at this tree next. This is another Jabuticaba, and tell us what is special about this one.
Sure, this one's called Oilo de Boyo. In English, that would translate to eye of the bull.
Okay.
So this Jabuticaba is famous because it gets fruits like about this big.
Wow.
On the tree, and that's why they call it Oilo de Boyo, eye of the bull.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is probably as far as I know, this is the biggest tree. I'm sorry, this is the tree that produces the biggest Jabuticaba fruit there is.
Now, how long ago did you plant this one?
This guy here. He's been probably in this pot now for about 6 months or so.
Okay.
And he's grown to probably about, I don't know, about this much right here.
So he's almost doubled in size.
Yeah, almost doubled in size.
Height-wise.
And thickness too. He's been getting nice and thick.
Yeah.
In here.
Now this has also been treated with your iron.
I treat them all with the iron. All the Jabuticabas with iron.
Well, they all are looking really healthy. So this is a very big fruit. Anything else you know about it? You haven't fruited yet.
I haven't fruited and I haven't tasted it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to, just because I've never seen a Jabuticaba,
that
fruit,
size,
the size of like a plum or something like that.
Right.
That to me that's super interesting.
Okay, so we are surrounded by a whole bunch of passion fruit. What variety have we got here?
This one here, this is the purple one. This is like a Frederick one, a common one that you see growing here in California.
Right.
There's different vines all throughout this wall right here.
Okay.
There's red ones. On the other side, there's my Brazilian giant, which is a cross between Frederick and probably Granadilla.
Granadilla.
And what's it called? That gets to be like a 1 pound fruit.
Wow.
It's a big fruit and it's yellow.
Okay.
So we can see later if there's any on there right now. But this guy here, he's great. He's privacy hedge.
Very common. They grow wonderfully well in our climate in Southern California.
Super high production. You don't have to do anything special to them.
Right.
Nothing.
Self-pollinate.
Self-pollinating. It brings in all the pollinators, all the bees.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have to do nothing to them. I don't even water these guys.
But the only thing you have to do is just remove the seeds and then freeze what's left in an ice cube tray and then drop them into your drink.
I don't even do that. I'll just pick them whole like this, and I'll put them in a bag and just throw them in my chest freezer. And then I'll take them out later and just cut them open and then just
eat away.
Scoop them out. I'll eat the seeds.
Yeah, I do too. I just spoon them in and then wonderful fruit. Okay, so what fruit is this? Is another Jabuticaba. What are we looking at here?
So this guy here is called a red Jabuticaba.
Okay, this is the red. I know one of our other programs, we looked at a red. It was not in flower. This one's in flower. No fruit on the other one either. But this one is in flower. Tell us about the red.
Sure. As far as I know, the red is like a hybrid between like a yellow and a white. A yellow and a regular Sabra. Okay. And that's what makes the purple fruit into a red fruit.
Into a red fruit, right.
But this guy is quite amazing though, just because once this guy is put in ground, you'll probably see it flower between 2 and 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. This is a super fast flowering, fruiting Jabuticaba.
I've heard that the red is quite tasty.
The red is quite tasty. I find it just a little bit more watery than the Sabra. There's a reason why they make the Jabuticaba wines out of the Sabra, just because they're sweeter, in my opinion. I think the Sabra tastes better. I
haven't had that experience yet.
But this if you're gonna grow a Jabuticaba though, if you don't want to wait,
Good
10 to 20 years.
Yeah, this
you
one
know,
will have fruit early.
Yeah, this one will fruit for you in 2 to 3 years.
Wonderful. Now you've got a really tall Jabuticaba, and now I learned to call it a Jabuticaba. The Portuguese.
I call it Jabuticaba.
And you call it Jabuticaba.
Jabuticaba.
So I've heard it now about 17 different ways.
Yes.
So what is this that we've got behind us?
So this guy here is called a Trunciflora Jabuticaba. This tree is quite old, actually. I actually don't know the age of it. Some people tell me it's probably a 20 plus old tree.
Really?
You know? But what makes it kind of really interesting is if you look here on the branches, you'll see flower buds.
Oh my.
You'll see flower buds all over. There's a better zoom here. It seems to be it buds differently than the other Jabuticaba. This one probably produces fruit about 3 times a year. Now, what's cool about this Jabuticaba is it's also known as Café Jabuticaba. It has a slight acidity taste to it, like coffee, like when you eat it. And this guy here, he doesn't grow like a regular Jabuticaba on a tree, like the fruit is like stuck on a tree. It's almost like a cherry-like stem. It comes out of the tree.
It comes out of the tree.
Correct.
Rather than being attached to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I have 2 of them actually. This is the one that I kind of pruned on the bottom, and then there's one over here. We'll take a look in a bit, I guess. And I really haven't pruned that one there.
We'll take a look at that next.
I noticed that this one here, though, he likes to be pruned whenever he tends to fruit more.
So we have over here another Jabuticaba that is related to the one that we just saw.
Yeah, this is also a what's it called, a Trunciflora Jabuticaba.
Okay.
You see, with this one, I haven't really trimmed it too much.
So we got lots of branches sort of coming out from everywhere.
This guy is behind the flower game than the other one there.
Yeah.
So you can see the other guy likes to being trimmed because the sunlight hits that bark.
Yeah.
And then it peels more, and then it fruits more.
And then fruits more. Which as I understand, a lot of people that have been growing these for years prefer trimming away all these little tiny branches.
Correct.
So that it opens the tree up to more sunlight, and therefore more peeling, as you put it, and also fruiting flowers start coming out a little bit quicker.
Correct.
So,
yeah, but I was just experimenting this one versus the other one, so I could really know its growing habits.
And that's the nice thing about being able to have 2 and trying something on one and not on the other.
To see what works better and what doesn't work better.
This is exactly what we're looking for. So we've got another Jabuticaba that is not quite as filled out leaf-wise, and yet there's some fruit on it for us to take a look at. Tell us about this. What is this one?
So this right here is, like I told you earlier, about variations of Sabra Jabuticaba, right?
Right.
So I call this one Christmas time Jabo because during the summer months, it literally has no leaves. It looks like it's dead.
Okay.
And right when we hit the winter months, you see it right now flushing out the new growth.
Okay.
If you take a look at the tree, it's got all the flower buds and all the new leaf.
All on the ends.
All
and
the
lots
ends
of little flowers.
All the spikes now coming out.
Yep.
So around when it gets cold, this one here just becomes a big, beautiful tree, all nice and green. But in the summer months, it looks dead.
That's amazing.
And you can try some of the fruit here.
Oh my. And you call this
I call this like Christmas time Jabuticaba.
Christmas time because it comes
in during Christmas, unlike the other ones that don't produce anything during Christmas because it doesn't like the cold.
Okay, so again, the typical harder outside than what a normal, let's say, cherry would be. Sweet with those sour aftertones that you get on many Jabuticaba.
And these will get a lot sweeter too. It's just right now this is like the first fruit of the season because it's just now starting to get a little cold. But if you were to come back like in a month or two, this thing will be loaded with super sweet fruit.
And again, the seed covered with kind of a a lot of the fruit itself sort of sticks to the seed. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, no, this is, like I said, like you know, I'm a collector, so I like the variations of them. So this right here is called a yellow Jabuticaba. As you can see, the leaves are totally different than other Jabuticabas, and the fruit formation is also different. It's like the fruits usually form right where the stem of the leaves come out, as you can see. And what's cool about this guy is he's also a fast fruiting Jabuticaba. So if you buy one and you plant it, you'll get fruits within 2 to 3 years. And this is the first time I'm having this guy fruit for me. So I don't know what the flavor profile of this guy is going to be, but I've been told it's quite good. The only problem with the yellow Jabuticaba is the seeds tend to be a little bit bigger.
I see by the leaves we've got some kind of an Annona here. Which one are we looking at?
Oh, in this, I have different Annona patches, what I call them.
Okay.
I have Antimoya, Cherimoya, all in this patch right here.
Okay.
I like to plant them, as you see, really close to each other, because as they grow into each other. Okay. Okay. That way they pollinate each other. Right. So I'll plant different species, different varieties of Annona all in one hole, because that way better chance of them having the same flowering season. Right. That way I'm not out here with a brush trying to pollinate each one to get fruit, because I'm a pretty busy guy. So but it works great. Like I consider it a really slow approach graft. As these things get super huge, the trunks are just going to fuse into one and just become one tree. That's the way I see it. Okay. Plus, it's a great way. Like, if you don't like it, you can always graft onto them. This guy right here is a Doc White. If it's that tall and you started with it being 2 feet, about 3 feet, 3 feet. So from this tall all the way up to probably 12, 15 feet. Something like that. It's gonna make it awkward though to like get the fruit though. Yeah, a bit, just a bit. I'm gonna have to like jump on the roof, but yeah. Have you gotten fruit? Oh yeah. If you see right here, there's a couple fruit right here. This is one of my youngest Annona patches. If I have other ones as we'll see, and you'll see way more fruits on this one. Yeah. This is one of my favorite though Annonas right here though. I don't know if you could see. There's a fruit right here that fell on the ground. So that looks more like a Cherimoya. This is a Cherimoya. This is my favorite Cherimoya. This is called Pierce. The reason on every Annona patch I like to plant a Pierce. So Pierce is to me is one of the best tasting Cherimoyas. Yeah. It's high production. It's self-fertile, but what makes it great about Pierce is the pollen. For some reason, Pierce is a great pollinator for all these other plants. Interesting. The pollen is super sticky. So I notice whenever I do pollinate something, I want to try for sure a new variety, I'll use the Pierce pollen. I notice I'll have a 90% success rate using this guy's pollen versus using any other tree's pollen. That's wonderful. And I hope all of you are listening closely to this, because this is the kind of thing that we love to find out about. Your successes, your failures even, in growing, and it passes right on to all of you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to take your Pierce and pierce its skin. See, oh boy, look at that. Look at that. This is a premature fruit, but it fell on the ground, so it's fair game. Fair game. There you go. Thank you. That nice tangy Cherimoya flavor is just full. Now I don't know if you noticed too, with this one here, it's more chewy and sweet, right? Not like regular Cherimoyas, where they tend to be more custardy. As you can see when you break it apart, there's a lot of segments.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people in different cultures, like the Asian culture, you know, Vietnamese, they prefer the, what's it called, the chewiness of this kind of fruit versus the Cherimoya. So, but great fruit though. Aroma smell.
Just filled with seeds. And nice aroma to it, sweet, a little chewy, like you say. Wow.
Like, yeah, this is a small fruit though, but once it gets bigger, this is
Fills
it. Like,
out.
yeah, it fills out. Like, it'll be like a good, like, you know, 1 pound or bigger fruit.
I see a few flower buds. I'll just point right over here, and that tells me it's an Annona, aside from the leaves. What have we got here?
So I'm kind of excited about these 2 trees right here.
Okay.
These are called custard apples. Now I noticed with the custard apples here where I live, they're on a different schedule than the Antimoyas and Cherimoyas.
Okay.
So most Cherimoyas and most Cherimoyas and Antimoyas right now, they're already, you know, developing fruit and stuff like that. Versus these guys right here are just now starting to flower and become fruitlets. Like if you look right here, you take any branch really, just kind of like move around here. We'll be able to find a fruitlet here somewhere. Oh, here you go. Here's one right here.
Okay.
See, there's a fruit right there, barely forming.
Yep.
So the reason, so if you see right here, I have a fruit right here, just now forming right now. See, it's on a different schedule than all my other trees. What's great about this one, you should plant different varieties so you have Annonas most of the year.
Extended season.
An extended season.
Right.
When one season ends, another one will begin. There's always something to eat in the backyard.
Yeah,
you know.
Perfect.
Plus, like, it's cool because you can also take the pollen, let's say from the custard apple,
right,
and mix it like on your Cherimoya and Antimoya fruits, right?
Right.
And you'll come up with new varieties like that. That's
all you have to do is save the seed, plant the seed. You've got a crossed variety. And then you wait like 2 or 3 years for it to maybe fruit for you. Yep.
And you might have something cool, you might have something gross, but you know.
Well,
but it's trial by error. You know?
Yeah, right. Or it may be something, you know, truly unique that you can then graft back onto another tree to make it produce fruit even faster.
Correct. Like we'll go see some other trees right now that I have.
Yeah.
That's also like it's like African Pride. I'm sure you heard of that one, the Antimoya. It's also crossed with this right here, this custard apple. Not this one particularly, but the fruits look these strange fruits that are red.
Oh, okay.
Red, purple, but it looks like an Antimoya or a Cherimoya.
Yeah.
You know?
Ilamna is another one that is reddish in color that, you know, could also be crossed and fruited with any of these.
Yeah, exactly.
Also.
Yeah. So, you know, you get these new cool varieties, you know, by doing this. That's why you should always like try to hit up 1 or 2 of the trees with a paintbrush. And
we hope all of you are doing that also. We hope that you'll let us know. Make a note in your comments and write comments to us. Let us know if you're trying it or if you've been successful or unsuccessful.
No hand pollination right here. All by itself.
Okay, we've got another Annona here, very different in appearance. What have we got?
So this guy here is a cross between a custard apple and an African Pride, I am told, by the guy who crossed them. Right now the fruits kind of look like a Lisa, but it's gonna change its appearance a little bit more. In between the cracks here on the nodes is going to be more what's it called, more pink.
Yeah.
And then these guys right here are going to be more red. These are premature right now, but they're going to grow, and then as they grow the color comes along. That's why it's always good to take a paintbrush and cross some different Annonas and then plant the seeds so you see what you get.
See what you get. Exactly.
This will be the first time of me trying this fruit here though. So this is the first time it's fruited for me.
And you've got a lot of fruit on this.
Oh yeah, it's all over here, the tree.
What kind of varieties? We've seen some Cherimoya. We've seen some, looks like a cross between your African, what was it?
African Pride.
African Pride.
And Elisa.
And Elisa, okay.
And Elisa. You know, and that's what you get here. There's also many other kinds. There's also another Pearson here. There's I have varieties called Ecuador.
They seem to sure like being together. I mean, that's really amazing. So don't be afraid to try it. If you've got the space or don't have the space, you can put a few trees into one space.
This is some other Jabuticaba.
Another type.
Yeah, this is what's it called? This is a white Jabuticaba.
Okay.
So if you see here, so I believe this guy right here is yeah, I think so. This guy right here is on the endangered species list.
Really?
Yeah, so because you know the Amazon is where they grow, and they're cutting a lot of it for timber and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to get this guy here from my friend, you know, from Flying Fox Roots.
Yeah.
You know, I've been growing it now for about a couple months now. You know.
Another good resource, by the way, Flying Fox. So no.
Here's like another baby red Jabuticaba. Here's a blue. Here's a blue Jabuticaba. I was told these guys don't taste as good as the other Jabuticabas, but they make for great rootstocks.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that's why I'm growing this guy right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then right here, I got a little Suriname cherry. No, not Suriname cherry. A Pitanga tuba.
Okay. Pitanga tuba looks like a giant Suriname cherry.
Yeah, it looks like a cross between a giant Suriname cherry
yeah.
and a star fruit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Big watery balloon fruits is what I call them.
I have never tasted those. I hope when you get fruit, you'll call us back and.
If you came earlier, like these trees, once they start producing, they don't stop.
Really?
They really don't stop. Like right now, it's like the month that they stop, right? And then January it picks up again, and you know.
Oh darn!
See, it's still flowering. It's still flowering, but it'll probably abort that flower pretty soon.
Yeah.
Now the trick to growing these guys though is you really got to have two.
And these are?
This is my own variety of Antimoya. I call it Torrance.
Okay.
But as you can see though, this guy is quite unique. He has like almost like a PPC, you know, it looks like PPC, you know, Pet Fek Chong, you know, look to it, sugar apple look to it.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's quite a unique looking fruit. You know, this is the first time it's also fruiting for me, so I'm excited to try this guy.
Now, did you cross-pollinate this?
Random seedling.
Right from a seedling?
Right from a seedling.
Okay.
Another Annona patch right here. This is a big sister. As you can see, there's fruit all over this tree right here. Right, and this guy is cross-pollinating with my Gefner right over there, and he's cross-pollinating with my Ecuador. Ecuador is a really cool fruit. I'm pretty sure you'll get a shot of it soon. It almost looks like a half Antimoya, half Cherimoya looking fruit. But they're all over. Super high production with zero effort. And I water once a week too. I don't water every 3 days or anything like that. Just once a week, else the water bill is just too crazy. And that's the importance of having, you know, a couple feet of mulch underneath you. Yeah. You know, to keep that soil wet. All right, if you want to come through here.
Wow. Okay, so we've got 3 little Annonas here growing. They all look different. How do you explain that?
So, my understanding is when a fruit Annona gets pollinated by a pollen from a different tree, it does not change the appearance of the fruit.
That's the general.
That's the general understanding. Only the genetics of the seeds, you have to plant the seeds out for it to, you know, be something different. Correct? Right. But I have been noticing though, and I know a few of my other friends have been noticing, like my friend, you know, from Florida. I'll send Kevin his information. He show you some pictures. That different pollens with different Annonas will cause the fruit to have different appearances.
So this is smooth, and this one's got little pricklies
like the Cherimoya
all over.
Prickly pumps, yeah.
And this one's a little, maybe from something else for the cleft in it.
Yeah.
So that's something that at this point, I don't know that anybody has verified, but that's something that you that are watching this, you know, can tell us your experience, whether this is something you've noticed. If it is, then we may be onto something. If it isn't, that needs to also be said. So take a look at your Cherimoyas. If you think you've got other trees with different pollen nearby, if you notice a difference on one branch, notice a very different appearance in what the small ones look like.
Yeah, because you can see like, this is the same branch tree with,
yeah, same branch. Okay, so this another Annona.
Yes, this is a quite common one from Hawaii. This is called a Ronilia. I was told it doesn't grow here in California, but I don't know. This
looks like it's growing.
It's growing quite well.
Yeah.
During the winter months right now, it's going to defoliate, and then it's going to grow again. As you can see, it's very big.
Yeah.
And it's got multiple shoots that just grew straight up.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't do anything special to this tree except for just put it in the ground, give it lots of mulch. You know, and I just water it once a week. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I planted this tree. So when I got this tree, I was told it's a 1-year seedling, and then I planted this tree into the ground last year.
This is 2 years old now. This is what you're saying.
I want to say I want to say about 2.5 years old.
Wow, and that goes up at least 12 feet minimum. Wow.
You know, I was told this guy doesn't grow here, but you know,
seems to be thriving.
It's, you know, like I said, like it'll lose some leaves during the winter, and then it comes back and it becomes even bigger. I think it should fruit like at the 3-year mark. So next year, I believe this guy will be loaded with fruits.
Wow.
And you guys can come back and try it. You know, let me know what you think. I was told it tastes like a lemony custard apple fruit.
Interesting. So, you've got quite a collection going. My goodness.
And this guy right here in front of you, right here, this guy is called a PPC, a Phet Pek Chong. Now, I have gotten Phet Pek Chong from different sources over the last 3 years, you know, because I feel a lot of people go to the native country, get the fruit, plant the seeds, you know, and they all call it, you know, you know, something like this. This guy right here, this is a true Phet Pek Chong, you know, not grow from seeds, like, you know, from an actual scion, grafted. I got the scion from, I bought the tree from Ong down in San Diego. I'm not sure if you guys ever been to Ong Nursery down in San Diego.
Been there, yep.
Really cool looking nursery. So I got this tree from, but they say it doesn't grow good here. As you can see, I made it a nice little good microclimate between all the trees here. It gets very warm here. The trees do a good job trapping humidity here. So this tree is just thriving. Like
this is the most south-facing part of your lot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's growing quite nice. I planted this guy in the ground like I want to say 3 or 4 months ago, and I gotten at least 2 feet of growth and a lot of side branches coming out of it.